ShredMentor challenge of the day number 165. This is kind of a fun one. We're going to be using the kind of four-finger diminished sevenths in groupings of 4, but we're going to be playing them accented as groupings of 3. Anyway, here's how it goes, and let's break it down. Alright, so, like I said, a bunch of little groupings of 4 as far as the note patterns, and all 4 of my fingers, but I'm doing 3 of those shapes in a row, which makes it 12, which makes it a multiple of 3 as well. So this kind of takes a little bit of concentration to do this, but I love taking things that are multiples of 4 and forcing them to be accented as groupings of 3, and likewise just pretty much taking any unrelated number and forcing the accent from something else, because it almost disguises the phrase itself, and you don't really hear the very boxy, kind of glued together little phrases that otherwise would have just been 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not that there's anything wrong with that phrase, because that could also work as like 16th notes in 3/4. That's one way that could possibly be structured. So whatever accenting you give it is going to give it a whole new kind of character, though. And that's why I like to do this, because it's obviously the most obvious way to accent this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because everything you're doing is just a bunch of little 4-note boxes. So this is why I wanted to take this and force it to be 12, because that's the first multiple of 3 that 4 also encounters, basically. So I need to get 3 of these shapes of 4 to get there. So let's break down what we're doing. Basically, I'm starting up here at 17. I'm in A flat harmonic minor, by the way, so I'm actually starting on 6th, okay? But the pattern you need to know is this is actually pretty easy. There's a little bit of a stretch slightly between the 2nd and 3rd finger, which is probably the hardest part of all this, other than just keeping track of where you're going. But I basically pay attention to where my first finger is going to be each time, and I just play this exact same shape, because once again, diminished sevenths, they're extremely symmetrical. It's just going to be the same shape over and over again, no matter where you play it. So ultimately, I'm at 17, 18, 20, 21. So basically, you're just zigzagging back and forth between which string you're on. But basically, it's up 1 fret, up 2 frets, up 1 fret. Okay, so if you can remember that, I'm going to go down 3 frets and do it again. Go down 3 frets and do it again. All right, that's the first 3 sets. Now I'm going to go back up to the last one I was at 14 and just do 3 more from here. Down, down. And right there, I happen to be at the 6th again, so I'm going to go down a half step and play my 5th. All right, so all together, one more time here. Okay, now, the real challenge after that is to just get used to doing those movements over and over again, to the point that you have enough control that you can actually afford some of your concentration to be focused on re-accenting it as triplets. And that's a whole new layer of challenge. But start with the 4s first, because the movements themselves are a little bit challenging here too. Of course, your mileage may vary. It might not be challenging at all, or it might be incredibly challenging. It depends on where you are and how used to this kind of thing you actually are. All right, but one thing I am going to point out about the way that I move between these shapes, and you might notice more as I play it slowly, but I don't like pick up my hand and just jump. The hand is not a block, it's a bunch of independent things. So you hear about finger independence, that's where this comes in. You want to make sure that you are reaching so that your last note doesn't... You don't want to have to keep making a staccato note at the end of every single phrase in order to move your entire hand at once. Stretch, expand, contract your hand as needed to put each finger where it needs to be next, while letting the last note completely ring out. It's one of those nuances of playing that might not occur naturally to you. If it did, that's great. But if not, think about that from now on. Make sure you don't accidentally start doing staccato notes just so that your hand can move somewhere else. Try to reach over there with whatever you've got, really. All right, so paying attention to that one more time, I'm going to go play the whole thing through a little more slowly than the first time with the stretch. Stretch, stretch, then contract your hand, stretch again, stretch. All right, you give it a try. I'll see you again tomorrow.